This is the Patriot.
Hey, this is Skylar.
My name's the Devil's Rejects.
I'm the big-time wrestling heavyweight champion, Flex Armstrong.
I'm the connected
Share.
Rusev Day every day.
It's Rusev Day every day.
Exactly.
And you're watching the Wrestling Connection.
And you're watching Wrestling Connection.
And watch the Wrestling Connection.
You're watching the Wrestling Connection.
It's been a while since we've seen those guys.
Oh, other hand. Hi, Jim.
Ow, right in the kiss.
I hear that women gain immortality from licking the feet of babies.
What? Say.
Be connected, get connected, and stay connected, brother.
Why wouldn't there be a baby in?
Hello, Alison. Hi, it's me again.
Connected, stay connected.
Of course, with the official.
You are ruining this intro.
Thank you.
Get connected, be evil, or die.
I love you, Brandon.
Moving on.
I had to get it out there.
Be connected, get connected, stay connected.
You know he's in a tag team right now called the Devil's Doorman?
I do. Yeah. He still hasn't come back to win though, so I think be like, hey, I want to go see. We cannot drive down to Pennsylvania for a single wrestling match.
I mean, you say that.
I mean, if you'd be okay driving to Pennsylvania, we'd probably get out of the house a bit more.
Hello, everybody. And welcome to episode 290 of the most award-winning must-see talk show ever hit Bedford Airways, or any airways for that matter. North, south, east, west, backwards, frontwards, diagonal, sideways. Any which way you look at it, brought to you all around the world, the Wrestling Connection. I am your host, the consumer wrestling knowledge, the literal breaker of Kens, the pricer of the Wrestling Connection, the legacy of Team Kaufman, Dan Calvin, here to deliver all the news you need to know. And alongside me, the Wonder Bird, who has had a bit of a hiatus, just like everybody else. Myself
the nest
included. Huh?
I flew the nest first.
You flew the nest. Yeah, cuckoo. And she is here because it is, officially the Valentine's Day episode. Mm-hmm. So, last episode, I talked about WrestleMania, which is coming up. I gave my thoughts on things going on. This is not a predictions video because we only have one confirmed match so far. So instead, we're going to be talking about what might be showing up. And I said on the next episode, she'd be with me. So, managed to get her here. Yay. You know, sometimes I worry. Being a typical female, you know, took too long to do certain things, and then we were late, and yeah. But we're here. Say hi to the people.
Hi. He didn't tell me what time we were supposed to leave the
I
house.
said 3:30.
No, he said half an hour, and then he went and took a shower for 20 minutes.
No. That is not the correct order of events. That's not the point. Okay. The point is, this year, WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Look at that pirate flag.
Ta-da!
It is in Tampa.
Really?
What? Alison, even if it was in Massachusetts, we could not afford those tickets. Mm. Plus traffic. Plus, it's like a 7-hour event.
Well, I mean, we each have 2 weeks of vacation.
Alison, you could not survive a WrestleMania event, especially if you don't want to miss anything.
Earplugs.
If you don't want to miss any matches, you'd be going to the bathroom a lot.
I'd buy the DVD.
Okay. Come on. Besides, you'd rather just be a small group of friends and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I like the indies better.
Ooh, throwing shade
I
over
know.
this early. So, we're going down. We're gonna go down. Would you? We're gonna go down the list. We're gonna start with the guaranteed match. Then we're gonna go with the most heavily implied, and then we're gonna go with somewhat possible. Then people who don't have matches yet, but probably will, and then we'll get to maybe some surprises, like who might show up. So, like I told you, the only guaranteed match right now is Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for the it's WWE. WWE Championship should be the main event. Look at those two big men. Did you know Drew McIntyre is 6'7" or 6'9" or something? Yeah, he's a big Scot. He's a Celtic warrior. No, that's Sheamus.
Okay, hang on. That makes
his finisher is the Claymore.
15 to 18 inches taller than me.
He's no Big Cass. Whoo.
He bent over just so I could get him in the frame. Like, Big Cass is big.
Big Cass is Big Cass. Okay. Drew versus Brock. What are your thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to it.
All right.
On one hand, I love Suplex City. I do.
Yeah.
It's true. I love all the insane acrobatics and the flips and flipping other people.
Well, this is going to be a bit different from like Brock versus AJ or Brock versus Finn.
Yeah.
Drew is a big guy. He is not exactly going to be, flipping in midair while he's being Germaned,
It'd be really awesome if he did, though.
He might. You never know. But, this is going to be more of the style of a, I wouldn't say Brock versus Roman, because that could get a little tiring. I'd say more like a Brock versus... That's kind of tough to say.
Yeah.
Brock versus maybe like a Kevin Owens?
Maybe.
I
don't know. I'm just hoping that they're both forced to use more of their skill sets.
Yeah.
Especially Brock. I love Suplex City. I love all the different suplexes. Dragon suplex is yours?
Actually, as much as I love the Dragon suplex, my favorite is actually the Northern Light suplex.
Okay. He brings them both up a lot.
Dragon suplex is scary looking.
Yeah.
Oof.
But as much as I love the suplexes, I'd love to see him bring back some of the moves he was using before.
The only real match you saw of Brock that would have given you that would have been Brock versus CM Punk, SummerSlam. And yes, very true. I've never really shown her any of the before Brock left the first time matches.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones. Those are the ones where he powerbombed somebody, held on to them, then picked them back up off the ground, then powerbombed them again. Kind of moves.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, he did it to a little guy called Spike Dudley. It was very funny.
Oh.
It was very funny. It was a Dudley Boy stepchild. It's the 90s. it's 90s, early 2000s. Some things would not work in this day and age. Just saying.
Okay.
You remember the Dudley Boys? Mm-hmm. He was their little guy.
Oh, dear.
Spike Dudley was not even 5 feet, if I recall. But he was from ECW originally, which explained, just like the Dudley Boys. So, okay. So we got what we said about this. Looking forward to the match. I'm looking forward to a Claymore to the face. I'm hoping he goes for a Claymore. Brock finds a way to maneuver him into an F5.
Okay.
Or he goes for an F5 and somehow Drew manages to flip around and then kick him in the face as he falls down. So F5 more. F5 more. Don't you shake your head at me. All right.
You just really want to see Brock get hit in the face by Drew.
It's fun. You have not seen the things I've seen with this Claymore. This Claymore, I've watched Claymore on Dolph Ziggler. Ooh,
oh, boy.
Those are fun.
No denial. He just wants to see him get hit in the face.
Well, it also means that it's a finisher that doesn't have to pick Brock up, which means that there's a better chance of it happening out of nowhere. True. Like an RKO or a Seth Rollins stomp, things like that. All right, now we're going to the heavily implied match. It's pretty much a guaranteed match, but they have yet to call it the match yet. And first off is not the one you're thinking of.
Aww.
First one is actually Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship. So how do we know this is pretty much guaranteed? We know because there was a Survivor Series match between Becky, Bayley, and Shayna Baszler, and it ended up with Shayna Baszler pinning Bayley, or making her tap. But there was a big confrontation between Becky and Shayna before that match started, and it never went anywhere. Which means there's all this animosity between the two that hasn't surfaced until last Raw, where Becky beat Asuka for the second time in a row, and then Shayna attacked her from behind and then bit the back of her neck, drawing blood.
Seriously?
Yep. She
Did you find
vampire.
that?
I'm not showing you the picture.
Aw.
I'll show you later. If you really want to know, she bit the back of the neck. Then she went away. Then Becky was put in an ambulance to go to the hospital. Then she drove the ambulance back, holding the back of her neck, and it's like, "You better pray you find me before I find you." So there you go. So
Okay.
there. So it's pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, your best preview of Shayna was Shayna versus Kairi Sane, Women's Evolution. Shayna is vicious. She trained like Ronda Rousey. She's an MMA fighter. Except unlike Ronda, who looks like she's going for a good, clean fight, Shayna really attacks the joints and makes sure you look like you're in as much pain as possible. Versus Becky, who we've seen Becky. Becky's fun. We like Becky. Becky's a bruiser. A bruiserweight. You don't get it. That's beat done.
No.
So, disarm her versus the Kirifuda clutch. Who do you think? It's not. You don't have to say if you don't want to because this is not a prediction.
I don't know. They're both really strong, really brutal. And I think it depends how dark Becky is willing to go. I mean,
Let's keep in mind Becky's been Raw champ since last year's WrestleMania.
so it'd be the 1 year.
It'd be the 1 year. Who knows? Who knows? All right, now to get to the one you were waiting for.
Woo.
Such a small woo.
I mean, Charlotte is going to be very small wooing while she's laid out on the floor.
Okay, you do realize that Rhea's coming in as the face, which means there's going to be a moment where she's on the ground and Charlotte's just going to woo in her face.
Yeah.
Then there'll be a comeuppance. But until then. By the way, this is Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
Woo!
Again, not confirmed, but pretty much confirmed.
Yeah.
You know, Charlotte is the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, and she has said that she has been multiple-time Raw and SmackDown champ. She has beaten Bayley and Becky. So what's next for her? Out comes Rhea, says, "You've never beaten me. In fact, I've beaten you," which she has because there was a Survivor Series. So, proof. So, say, so what's your answer? And Charlotte's yet to give an answer. It's going to happen.
Charlotte. I shall hold out to the day before, then say yes.
Okay, for the record, there is an NXT pay-per-view that's coming up before, in like this Sunday between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and then Charlotte will probably say it after that because that'll be the lead-up.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, I know you're looking forward to this match. The first time you even saw Rhea Ripley, they're like, "I need that outfit."
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley's awesome, and I love her theme song, her entrance. You know, how do you know she's coming out? All of a sudden, you just hear, "This is my brutality."
Yeah. Oh, I think Rhea's gonna take this one.
All right.
I do.
She actually beat Shayna for the championship, so it's definitely possible.
I'm looking forward to this one.
It is almost impossible to have a bad match with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Unless you are like a Dana Brooke or a Lacey Evans or even a Bayley at times. You know, if you are Becky, if you're Sasha, if you're Ronda Rousey, if you're Asuka, you cannot have a bad match with Charlotte. So even Trish Stratus had a great match with Charlotte.
I do want to see Charlotte bring out more of the other moves she can do. Spanish fly off the top. Oh my God.
It's beautiful.
It is. And she never does it.
Because she needs the bigger stage. And she needs someone who can make sure they can actually do it without screwing up too. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, this way. Have you seen it? Have you seen her fight?
It's good.
They're awesome.
It's good.
It's I really want to see this match.
All right. Next up, pretty much guarantee, and it's something I think you'll be interested in. Edge versus Randy Orton.
Oh.
This is an older picture. You can tell because there's no gray in Edge's beard. His big beard. Big old beardy beard.
Yeah.
So I say she's going to look for this because she actually knows Edge, not from wrestling, but from his show with Christian, the Show of Awesomeness. So, Edge made his triumphant return after 9 years away from the ring and the Royal Rumble as entrant number 21. Had a bit of a reunion with Randy Orton because they did have a team called Rated RKO. Because Edge is the Rated R superstar. He called himself that. You do not want to know what led up to it. It involves things with Lita. It was the PG era. The Rated R superstar in the PG era. So, they had, Royal Rumble. Orton and Edge are teaming up, cleaning house. Orton makes a pose saying, I'm going to RKO him. I'm going to RKO him. Edge turns around, sees it's like, Orton's like, I had to try. He's like, it's fine, it's cool, then tosses him out. And then next episode of Raw, Randy shows up. Said, no, we're under the bridge, and attacks Edge, and then actually puts a steel chair under his head while he's lying down, takes another chair, and slams it down. Called the One-Man Concerto, which has a lot of context. God, I'm actually going into this. Okay. History lesson. The Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match was created because the three participants were the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. So, in order for it to work, everybody needs a specialty. The Dudleys were the tables. Devon get the tables. Hardy Boys, specialty ladder match. So in order to make Edge and Christian the chairs guy, what they were doing for a while, and you're going to wince at this, is Edge and Christian each grab their own chair, and they slam it together with the guy's head in the middle. Called it the Concerto.
That is not the right pun to use there. I don't know what the right pun to use is, but that is not the right one.
So, ta-da. One-man Concerto means you only need one person to do it. So he did that. Edge is out for a while, but when he comes back, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts of Edge's first... This is going to be Edge's first singles match. And if anyone he's going to wrestle, Orton's considered one of the safest hands in the WWE.
Yeah.
He's coming back from triple fusion neck surgery. So.
Yeah, because he got... I can never remember.
Spinal
the name of it.
stenosis.
Yeah.
That's what everyone keeps getting. Tommaso Ciampa, Sheamus, Sting, Edge, Austin. Everyone's coming back now, though, all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Maybe technology's finally advanced enough where they can do this without hurting.
Stem cell research.
Hey,
You never know.
You never know. So, are you looking forward to this?
Yeah. I like it when they're not really old schoolers, but they took a break for a while. I like it when the people who have taken a break for a couple of years come back. They're usually more energetic, more into it. It's kind of like they took a mini vacation and they come back and they've been like fully refreshed and now they're like ready to go again.
Right.
So I'm hoping it'll be a high energy match.
I feel it's going to be a little slow paced to make sure they get into the flow of it before it starts, but I could see it being definitely a good match. These two have wrestled with each other before, so they know how we work. So, all right. Next up, this is not a guarantee going to happen, but it's highly rumored.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, our Blue Universal Champion, as people like to refer to it. Look at his belt.
Oh dear.
Remember how it was red before?
Yep.
That's because it was on Raw. Now it's on SmackDown.
Oh.
So the Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus one Roman Reigns.
So, disclaimer, I have never been allowed to watch The Fiend.
Very true.
So.
She was there during the SummerSlam match, but she went to the bathroom, and I watched his entrance, and I said, Alison, you cannot watch this.
Yeah.
I love horror. Horror is great.
I've only seen 6 rated R films in my life.
And the worst one would probably be considered Hellraiser, and that is more laughable than scary. So,
yeah.
You know, I'm not taking her out to see The Thing. You know, let's put it that way.
Yeah. No.
But The Fiend has pretty much been unstoppable ever since he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
He has destroyed anyone who has wronged Bray Wyatt in the past. So he went through Finn Balor. He went through Daniel Bryan multiple times. He went through Seth Rollins multiple times. He went through The Miz. You know, all these guys. No, he went through The Miz as Bray Wyatt. He didn't even go as The Fiend on that one. He was just like, give me more pain, give me more pain, give me more pain, and then he wins. So now, the most likely result will be Roman Reigns versus The Fiend. So the issue I have, specifically, is we've seen unstoppable killers before. Rusev was unstoppable for a while, but they built him up for one reason. Feed him to Cena. People called Roman Reigns this era's John Cena. So, will they have The Fiend's first recorded loss, not referee stoppage, Hell in a Cell, to Roman? Or will they keep The Fiend's streak alive, and who knows where it goes from there?
The issue is I don't know where it would go.
I actually had a pitch for The Fiend Bray Wyatt for this WrestleMania, and unfortunately they can't do it because the person I would have him go up against is in NXT now. Mm-hmm. I was pitching The Fiend versus the Demon.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. So the way I pictured it is The Fiend would beat Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble, and then Finn would return after being off TV, so no NXT. He would return then, and then say, you know, you're going to use your alter ego to stop me. I have a demon that can't wait to meet you. But instead, Finn went back to NXT and he turned heel.
Yeah.
And he's wrestling heel, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I enjoyed that.
I caught the last episode of NXT.
Oh, surprising.
I haven't managed to catch literally any other wrestling shows for 2 months, but you know,
We've been busy. We've been very busy.
I caught NXT.
Yeah. Prince Devitt, essentially, is back now. His first persona. So, what do you think? Something to look forward to, or no? Not really?
I mean, it's going to be a good match. It's just, don't know.
All right.
Don't know where it would go. I mean,
I got it. So another more of a rumored match, but we don't really have any confirmation, is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The champs on the left are the New Day, and most likely their opponents at Mania are going to be Miz and Morrison. Now, you really haven't seen much of Morrison, but I did show you his finisher, the Starship Pain, where he bounced off the top ropes into a twirling moonsault.
yes.
Yeah. You know how every WrestleMania Kofi does some death-defying lead to keep the match? Yeah, John Morrison was doing that before Kofi. So we got high flyers.
Which is excellent news for me.
And then you got the personalities of, I don't know if it's going to be Xavier or Big E versus The Miz. If it was Big E, I just feel bad for The Miz.
I watch The Miz and Mrs. So.
I know you do.
So.
I know you do. Yes, you do. And I hate that I enjoy it with you. But The Miz is funny. Mike is funny. Maurice is not as hot as she is when she started. You did not see her when she started.
Her mom is kind of insane, but hilarious.
I am not an advertisement for The Miz and Mrs.
I am.
She is.
I absolutely am. if you like wrestling and you're kind of about soap dramas, do it.
Reality shows, not soap dramas.
No, soap dramas.
No, that is not a soap drama. That's more comedy. There's no soap drama on that. No.
Marissa's mom took the dogs
it's
out.
not General Hospital, okay? Ms. and Mrs. is not General Hospital. I can't believe I have to say that. Okay, moving on, apparently.
Are you sure there's a McDreamy?
Moving on. And for the record, that is not General Hospital. That is Grey's Anatomy.
I know nothing.
Okay, now we're going to get into people who do not have matches. So first off, we have what Brian Zane has dubbed the Messiah Maniacs. Let me explain. Seth has officially been calling himself the Monday Night Messiah.
Okay.
He is heel now. He created his own faction. The Authors of Pain, AOP, are on the ends. They're an actual tag team. But the current Raw Tag Team Champions is Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy.
Woo!
So I'm happy for him. He's been on TV a lot now because of that. But they are currently without a Mania opponent. So, the most likely candidate unless they lose the belts first and then they get their own set solo matches. But I don't think they will. Because they've been feuding with
Oh.
Kojo.
Really, Kojo?
The real American heroes. I am not sorry. Pretty much when Seth turned heel, he pretty much was yelling at Kevin Owens because he was seeing him as a traitor because no one is as good as Seth and everyone has been failing him and failing Monday Night Raw, which is why he's dubbing himself the Messiah.
Okay.
So, every chance that he gets, Kevin Owens is getting in his face is just like, I'm going to beat you up. 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 So, and then they attack Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's like, all right, I'm in on this too. They've had Big Show help them. They've had the former tag team champions, the Viking Raiders, help them.
Okay.
They haven't had him yet, but considering the feud they had, they might get Aleister Black to help them.
Oh, dear.
So, if that were to be the case, and the match was Seth Rollins, and they're now referring to him as Murphy. They removed the name Buddy from his name.
Aww.
Apparently the reason is because if he is considered like a prophet of, Seth Rollins, who is a Messiah, Buddy doesn't work in it, which is dumb. Call him Brother Murphy then. Don't call him just Murphy. Rollins and Murphy versus Kojo. KO and Joe. At least, is it going to be a good match?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. That's not what's in doubt. Is Joe going to squish them? Or are they going to fling themselves around? And
considering how much these guys keep losing, I would not be surprised if they actually do win. That feel-good moment.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of tag team champions without matches, this one's actually going to be a little bit tricky to figure it out. The women's tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Where's the pirate? When did she lose the pirate hat?
When they turned heel.
Dang it.
That's why if you look at Asuka, she has all the poison dripping out down her face now.
Yeah, she was doing the...
Yeah, that was when she turned heel.
Spray paint.
If you look on the left cheek of Kairi, she has like the diva face paint. So... Question is now, we don't really know what tag teams are out there to really challenge them. I mean, you could have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross again, but that was who they took the belts off of. The Iconics are not threatening enough for WrestleMania.
No.
Beth Phoenix and Natalya is a possibility. You could have a nostalgia match, a nostalgia return. Maybe Trish and Lita.
Alexa.
No. Nia actually is a tag team with Tamina, a.k.a. Nia Jax alone. But Nia hasn't come back yet, so we don't know there.
Yeah.
We could have NXT call-ups.
That would be interesting.
I forgot to mention, Shayna Baszler normally has henchwomen with her. Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke.
Okay.
So if you want Shayna to be alone, maybe have them wrestling the Kabuki Warriors.
That'd be interesting.
Regardless, it just stinks that there's really not... They really haven't established women's tag teams that much. To the point where the last feud with Asuka was solo with Becky. Twice.
Where's Shirai now?
Io? She is on NXT as a top heel, even though they cheer as a babyface. Because of course they do. Io's awesome. They wanted to turn her heel, but they just made her cooler. It is what it is.
It'd be interesting if they called her up.
All right. So, speaking of forgotten wrestlers and females and all that stuff, what about Bayley?
Oh, dear.
Let's not forget, she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. She's also heel. She doesn't have her little floaty buddies anymore. She cut her hair, so she doesn't have the...
Cut it and dyed it.
And dyed it a little bit. So, there really isn't much for her on SmackDown anymore. I mean, Lacey went through Lacey Evans, but that wasn't really much of a challenge. I'm not looking forward to a Bayley match. I'm sorry. It's just, she's been too botch heavy. I
don't watch that many matches. I watch mostly what you give me, and then the 4 specials. When my first full show, I can spot someone botching and ask you about them.
Yeah.
It's not good.
So I have 3 ideas for people who might be a possibility for a match. First one, she returned at the Royal Rumble. Naomi. So I see a possibility where she might be, because she's already challenged her. But she challenged her for a pay-per-view, like the upcoming pay-per-view, which is, I think, Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
So there's a chance. So maybe they could prolong that feud to get for a Mania match. There's also, we haven't seen her in a while. I think she might be injured, but we don't know. Sasha. I mean, if you want, the reason why people liked Bayley in the first place was her feud with Sasha in NXT, which had the first ever 30-woman Iron Woman match, which I still wish they called the Iron Maidens, but whatever. And last but not least, and I want your face for this one.
Okay, let me see the TV. Who are we?
Nia Jax, who cut her hair.
Is that really the best picture of Nia you could get?
If you look behind her, WrestleMania.
Okay, still.
But she has been seen back in the Performance Center, training up, getting back ready for wrestle. She, I believe, had double quad tears, which is why she's been gone.
Yep. The injuries are the reason I'm not allowed to watch.
Some things, yeah. Although you do like watching some weird stuff, but I'm not going to go there. There's a 4th. I forgot to mention.
Oh.
Ready?
Ready. Okay.
This is a long shot. This is a very long shot because she actually injured herself in something else, and it's very gruesome. She did something to her thumb, like it's completely torn apart.
Oh, it desheathed.
Pretty much. So it's very unlikely, but you never say never. Who knows?
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I'd love to see a Nia match. I'd love to see a Ronda match. Not so sure I want to see them with Bayley.
Fair enough.
I mean, if we could get Nia versus Ronda, dude.
We've already had that twice.
I know. I need more. There is not enough.
No joke, Nia's best matches were with Ronda. 100%. All right, now we got people who have nothing on the table for them, but they are champions. Starting with... You know who that is, right?
Is that Braun?
Yeah. Braun Strowman is our Intercontinental Champion. He won his first singles championship just a little while ago. He won off of Shinsuke.
Nice.
So it was very nice seeing his reaction to finally winning a singles. But he was almost in tears. It was
Oh,
very.
I think I
sweet.
saw that.
Huh.
I think you showed me a reaction video.
So, who could he face at WrestleMania? I mean, if you want to continue with the little trio of Goonies, you got Shinsuke, you got Sami Zayn, and you got Cesaro. They don't like having Sami Zayn wrestle anymore for some God forbidden reason. I'm going to attribute it to Vince McMahon just not liking him. Cesaro would be great. But there's one idea I had.
Oh.
Have that be your ladder match with multiple people in.
Ooh.
Because they've done that before. They've had multiple ladder matches for the IC belt. Zack Ryder has won it via that way, and so has Daniel Bryan won it that way. There tends to be at least like one ladder match per Mania. So why not be this one?
I think that'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm not so sure if
Strowman would win because it's a ladder.
he just got it too. So
I know.
I think whatever they do, they better make it so he actually keeps it for a bit.
You know what I'd have them do? I'd have him pick up the ladder, and instead of climb it, he just takes swats at the belt until it falls down.
I mean, swat at the belt, someone gets up, swat the person. You know.
That'd be fun. I think it'd be brilliant. I just
a
had that
giant
idea.
sweep, get everyone down.
Yeah. Maybe he has two ladders and climbs each one to make sure he gets up there. I actually do not put it past him to do that. Like they have two ladders just like tied together.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, the U.S. champion, the United States champion, Andrade Cien Almas. Currently out because of wellness policy violation. So,
Yay.
for some reason, they've been pairing up all the Latinos. Not kidding. Before this, he wrestled Rey Mysterio. Before this, he wrestled Humberto Carrillo. And now he's out. Now Humberto Carrillo is wrestling Angel Garza, who is also Latino. Yeah. I don't know why. They're just doing that. So, I'm calling a fatal four-way between all four dudes. Only thing I can think of. Have a multi-man match. They're good. They're good. And you definitely have a lot of flip. Maybe some other cruiserweight I forgot and make it a 5-man. Or 2 from there and call it a 6-pack. The 6-pack challenge, as I like to call it. Either way, unfortunately, there's not much of a feud other than with other Latinos. Therefore, that's most likely how it's going to be. Unless AJ wins it back from him and then he goes into a feud with somebody. I don't know. What are you oying about? What are you oying about? Don't know what you're oying. All right, no, you want oys. Get ready for this.
Oh, dear.
So we're up to possible cameos / returns. First, we're going from laughable to plausible. I have 3 for you. Ready for the first one?
No.
Ha! Hi, Hogan. So, let me explain. Hogan has actually gone on record saying he wants his last match to be in the WWE because his last match was actually on Impact. So, in order for that to happen, this 60, 70, I don't know how old he is, some odd dude would have to get in a match with somebody. Probably break a pelvis doing his finisher.
I'm just curious why his sunglasses are so high on his face.
That was the look.
Like,
That was the look. It was the look. I mean, he's before my time mostly, so you know. I mean, he was still around, but by that point he was a bad guy. You know, NWO. All right, next up, this guy actually lives in Florida now, although he's not originally from there, and he said he will show up. Just we don't know in what capacity. You ready for this?
no.
He lives in Florida now.
Oh boy.
Can you see him? I don't know if you can see him.
No, because I actually have a pole right there. So I see a tiny bit of his green shirt, but I see no him.
I'll give you a hint. Okay. So, for the record, he has a movie coming up. He is in the new Fast and Furious movie, where he's playing a bad guy for the first time in his life. We finally get the heel turn, and it's in a movie, and he's Vin Diesel's younger brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't make up my mind if I'm actually looking forward to it or not.
Oh, get this. He's also going to be in the new Suicide Squad movie.
Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey already happened.
We've got time to go to the theater.
No,
right?
we don't. I do not want to see that movie. You cannot make me. And in fact, apparently it bombed so bad, they're renaming it to just Harley Quinn. Not even kidding. I mean, the movie was originally called Birds of Prey or The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. I think they're literally just dropping Birds of Prey, just leaving it as The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
I still want to see it.
That's fine. See it on your own time.
Okay.
And the last one. And this one is believable, but we don't know if we really want it. Undertaker. He's in his 50s. His last match that we saw, which was good because it was short, was him versus Cena to fulfill the dream match. Do we really want to see him go again? Do we really want...
Always, but no.
Stuff, I know.
Like, he's a legend. We love seeing him wrestle. We love seeing his performances when he comes out and when
I
he
really
leaves.
do need to show you his WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels.
Yes. But at the same time, we don't want him to injure himself. And everyone's injuring themselves.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they're in their 50s now.
Some of the current wrestlers are not in their 50s, and
Okay.
they're still
But
injuring
there's
themselves.
a reason for that one. There is 100% a reason for that. It's the fact that they want to make sure people are more invested, but in order to be more invested, they have to be doing more dangerous stuff. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's why Orton is one of the safest hands around. That's why The Miz never hurt himself, because they wrestled the soft WWE style. But I cannot fault The Miz, because he already had his promo where he said, the reason I wrestle the way I do is because I've never been injured, and I've been here in and out for over 12 years. And he was going off on Daniel Bryan, who got super injured because he wrestled the way the fans wanted him to wrestle, and then he had to leave, and he couldn't come back. And then he came back, and now it's all good. All right.
Yeah.
We've gone through it all.
So, love to see him make an entrance, an appearance.
Maybe Squish Elias.
I would love to see him squish Elias. I mean, but I don't want to see him wrestle again.
All right, fair enough.
Come out, squish someone, lower a coffin onto them, like make him a pancake. Don't actually make him wrestle.
All right. Okay, that is literally all the pictures I have. And we've almost been going for an hour. We may have been going for an hour, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, like I said, today is Valentine's Day. Let's get this picture up. I saw this. I'm like, let's get that. Look at
I
this.
remember this.
Remember that?
I remember this.
All right. So, Valentine's Day, she gave me, what was it, a hedgehog named Frankfurt, or at least I'm calling it Frankfurt because that's what it says on the sign. So I have it in my head that he wears the sign to remind himself and other people that his name is Frankfurt. She also gave me this, which I asked for permission. I am going to read on TV.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's a little cheesy.
So
It's a bit of a pun because,
to get this Valentine for you, I had to leave the house and interact with other humans. You're one of the few people who's worth it all. Aw. Okay, yeah, that is the cheesy but adorable part. Dan, I love you. Thank you for being my everything. Love, Alison.
You are.
Cheesy. Well, for my Valentine's, I'm sorry I didn't get you your Godiva's chocolate. I know you asked for that. I didn't get that. I didn't get you a card. Instead, I got you on TV to talk wrestling.
I mean, to be fair, you're bringing me to one of my favorite places.
And I'm
for
bringing
dinner.
you there. And I'm asking you one thing. And it's not about WrestleMania.
Okay.
It's not. I am asking you, Alison Emily Sherman.
What?
Oh my god.
Will you marry me?
Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And that's our show, people.
Oh my god!
Take a look.
It's gorgeous. Oh my god. Okay. It is beautiful. Holy crap.
Damn, I was hoping it would fit.
No, it does.
Oh shit, it fits. I love you.
I can't believe you just did this on live TV and now it's going on the internet.